Evening people, evening, welcome back to the channel. Who's zubbing me? Nobody. So tonight back for round 6 of the Super Formula series with the P1 race community, live from Suzuka tonight. 27 lap race. Bop is on, tyre wear is at ×5, fuel rate is ×3, 2 mandatory pit stops. They have to use any 2 compounds, but you'll see in a second. I don't know whether that's all going to go out the window because it's absolutely throwing it down with rain here. No overtake boost on lap 1. That's the KERS sort of feature, but we're hoping that people don't use that on lap 1 because the cars are a little bit too bunched together and it causes absolute chaos. So let's not do that. Stickers still available, people. Hit me up, darksmoker@googlemail.com if you want any of those. All right, let's get ourselves in. Got some stuff to do here because stupid camera won't lock into zoomed in. How's that? Alright, won't stay there. Next time I stream I'll have to do all this again. Evening! Sounds on, yes, good. Hope everyone's alright. Let's just make sure that's running. Yes it is. So yeah, absolutely tipping it down here. Look at that. That's not what you want to be driving around in your open top Super Formula, is it? Pow, and that's the result, unfortunately. So I think you might see a little bit of that tonight. Let's have a look who we've got in. So we've got a 5-minute qualifier coming up, followed by that 27 lap race. We have got Dylan, Faithless Emo, Dizzy, Obi, Mart, Manos, Kevin, Manny, Mockin, It's Hoggy, Skippy and a Pilgrim. 12 drivers. Ooh. Well, we'll see. We'll see how they're going. So just have a look at the settings. Weather is on random there. But looking at that weather at the minute, it could stick around. We'll see though, we'll see. Looks awful. I'm glad it's not me racing out there, that's for sure. It's grim. So 27 laps here, hopefully not all in the wet. That'll be great viewing for you lot because there'll be cars spinning around all over the place, but it won't be great for the people behind the wheel. Tricky circuit as well, Suzuka. Some fast corners, hard braking zones, tricky off-camber corners. Let's see if we can get a quick lap with whoever this is. Here's P1 Manny. Turn 1, somebody already off track through there, double apex right hander. Oh, that's the power down a little bit too early then. Set of S's coming up here then, tricky one. Faithless, wet air this week, yeah, not dirty air this week, it's going to be wet air. He's getting in his excuses in early again, is Faithless. If you do want to check out his POV, then go and look at Faithless Emo Racing. He's got his POV probably running live, I would expect. So down towards Degner 1, Degner 2. Again, very, very tentative on the throttle. Big amounts of water being kicked up. And we are going to start this qualifying session then. Oh, the weather's changed. Look at that. He's still got rain on his windscreen. So we will do another lap then with Manny. A little bit clearer now, the blue skies. Less chance of spinning off track for sure. Everybody back on the racing tyres. So this is the S's we were into already. Tricky one, this one. Just wants to push you out to the right this corner all the time. Plenty of downforce keeping them on track through here though. This is the Degners that we came up to. A little bit compromised on the way into that one for Manny. And through the right hander, hard on the brakes into the hairpin. Down to first gear, gets the throttle down a little bit too early again there, lights the rears up through 200R, I believe that one is, into spoon again, double apex left hander. Towards 130R. This is still out lap for qualifying, so you need to be going absolute full beans really on the out lap. You're just putting wear on your tyres. Through the, is that the casino chicane? Across the line then. So starting there, hot laps, out laps now completed. It is this man. First out on track, Faithless Emo. No wet air, no dirty air for you at the moment either, so I don't want to hear any excuses when you spin it off track, throw it in the wall, or don't get the fastest lap time. It'll probably be my fault then for talking too much during his qualifying session. Couldn't concentrate. I'll tell you what we didn't look at. We didn't look at points, did we? We didn't. Why didn't we look at points? Because I got carried away, that's why. Alright. I'll tell you points then. How about that? So, let's have a look. I suppose I could show you the points, but you know, it might be a bit blurry on there. There you go. Showed you the points. Oh, there you go. But it is Dylan leading the way with 95 points, but right behind him is HKRT Kevin with 94. Got Faithless Emo in third with 78. Mocking Weeks fourth with 60. Obi-Wan fifth with 43. Manny sixth with 42. Seventh for Manos with 40 points. We've got Atramores in 8th with 31. Skippy 9th with 28. Mart in 10th with 27. Pilgrim 11th with 13. Joint 11th in fact with Dazzler. 13th then is It's Hoggy with 12 points, and at the back is P1 Dizzy with just 11 points. Right, who's out front? It is this man, P1 Dylan. Oh no, he's not anymore. HKRT Kevin's come through to snap that off him. So it's now Dylan second, Mart in third, Dizzy fourth, Manos across the line stays fifth for the time being. Pilgrim in 6th. Obi-Wan 7th. Mockin in 8th. Faithless 9th. It's Hoggy 10th. Manny in 11th. And Skippy 12th at the minute. But we've got 30 seconds left. Ooh, that's this lap thrown in the bin for Kevin. A bit of a swap on coming out of the Degners. He's not able to get the power down on the run into the hairpin, so that could be this lap thrown in the bin. But doesn't look like Dylan's going for another fast lap. Doesn't look like Mart's going for another fast lap either. Dizzy still out on track. So that is it. 5 minutes done and dusted. Who's going to be the next man? Not quite Pilgrim. There's somebody in front of him that's just crossed the line. Oh, Pilgrim. Well, that's not what he wanted to do, is it? Who was it? Oh, it was Pilgrim that crashed into the wall. Obi still out on track. Yeah, Mockin still out on track. Skippy now across the line, so he's 10th unless anybody can push him down. And they do. It's Hoggy comes across the line, takes 10th off him, pushes Skippy down to 11th then. Manny just comes out of the pits, so he's going to take 12th, and it does look like it's going to be... What have we got? 2 more drivers left, I think, to cross the line. Not sure if they're at full race pace, though. Possibly not. So it is going to be Kevin on pole then. Dylan 2nd, Martin 3rd, Faithless in 4th. Oh, he did go quicker right at the end there. Mock in 5th, Dizzy in 6th, Manos 7th, Pilgrim 8th, Obi-Wan in 9th. It's Hoggy 10th, Skippy in 11th, and Manny 12th. Softs don't last very long here. No, I can imagine. It's a tough course for tyres, this one. Some of the faster sections, the 130R, 200R, Spoon, puts that pressure. The S's put the pressure. Turn 1, in fact, that's quite brutal in itself. There it is. Pole position for HKRT Kevin then. Official results on the screen then. Kevin on that top spot, Dylan in 2nd, Mark 3rd, Faithless in 4th, Mock in 5th, Dizzy 6th, HKRT Manos in 7th, Pilgrim in 8th, Obi-Wan 9th, it's Hoggy 10th, Skippy in 11th, and Manny 12th. Robbed Bacon joined and then he left. Did we get a time? No, not yet. No boost on lap 1, boys or girls. Come on then. Can anyone catch Kevin? Again, I suppose a lot of it depends on what's going to happen with the weather. Random. Why? Wow, that was weird. Urban Fire 9993. Evening. How you doing, buddy? All right? Just waiting for this race to kick off. 27 laps here at Suzuka. Times 3 tyre wear. Times 5 times wear tyre wear. Times 3 fuel. They do have to take 2 mandatory stops, and they can use any compounds, but they have to use 2 different compounds. Is it? Any 2 compounds. But here we go then, when it lets me in. Okay, Kevin on pole, Dylan 2nd. Can Dylan get a good enough start to sneak one up the inside at turn 1? We'll see. Do we have any false starts. Lights go on then. Oh, we have got a false start. It's Hoggy at the back, has already moved off the line. That might cause chaos. No. Manny realised what was happening, managed to peel around him. Dylan does make the sneak move up the inside at turn 1. Oh, he's left the door wide open. HKRT Kevin has that allowed, not quite, almost allowed Mark to come through to sneak second off him as well. But I think Mark realised there was a tiny bit of contact between himself and Kevin. Get that position back, didn't cost him anything. Mocking in 4th, then Dizzy 5th. Got Pilgrim 6th, Faithless 7th, Skippy in 8th. Obi 9th, it's Hoggy with that false start in 10th. He has got himself back past Manny in 11th. And Manos in 12th. Into the hairpin then, 1.3 seconds lead for Dylan on the medium tyre for stint 1. Kevin also gone for the medium tyre stint 1. Mart on that medium tyre as well, Mocking on the medium tyre. Dizzy mediums, Pilgrim on the mediums, mediums on for Faithless. Nobody got advantage. Oh! Come on, catch up with those drivers who span themselves off. Pilgrim, I don't think you and Obi-Wan were even together. Pilgrim's bunged it off the track, and Obi-Wan's done exactly the same thing, but I don't think it was anything to do, you know, they've not come into contact, I don't think, unless it was just prior to me flicking over to it, but it didn't look like they made contact. And look at this, Dylan making short work of that lead at the minute, 1.7 seconds over Kevin. He's not used any of that overtake function either. Same tyre strategy for these two. Maybe Dylan pushing a little bit harder early on, putting a little bit more wear on those tyres, maybe using a tiny bit more fuel. Mark hanging on to 3rd at the minute. He's just a second behind Kevin. He's got 3/4 of a second over Mocking behind. Quite out of danger yet then. Oh, sorry, it's not Mocking, it's Dizzy. Apologies, it was Mocking, I'm sure of it. Mocking then in 5th, Faithless closing up on him a little bit. Just 0.3 of a second, could see a move, maybe not into Spoon, but possibly up the back straight if he can keep the power on him as he comes out of this second apex. Does get a good drive out of there though, just pulls that car a little bit further ahead of Faithless. Slipstream kicking in now though, he does use that overtake function as well. Gets through 130R, full tilt through there, hard on the brakes into Casino. Trying not to get that one wrong. Mocking Week slots himself back into the slipstream of Faithless. Up to 7th then, with the departure of a couple of drivers in front of him. Manny in 8th, Manos in 9th, Skippy 10th, Pilgrim who's thrown it off track, and Obi-Wan who's thrown it off track. Both at Spoon as well, I think, just on the exit, getting a little bit excited coming out of Spoon, putting the throttle down a little bit early. Look at this now, Dylan 2.4 seconds lead. Let's just have a look at his tyre wear compared to Kevin's behind him. No, it's not looking that much different. Martin 3rd, very similar as well, just he's used a tiny bit of that overtake function, Mark. Fuel very similar between the top 3 as well. Dizzy getting a little bit closer to Mark, dragging Faithless Emo along with him. They are getting a slipstream up this hill as well. Dizzy getting a little bit closer as we go through the left-hander. Carries the speed and the slipstream all the way to Casino. a good drive out of here to get the run on Mark down towards turn 1. Mark gets a good exit though. Opens up that gap a little bit. You can see Dizzy trying to get into that slipstream. He has managed to pull enough time, Mark, to keep Dizzy behind him for the time being. So there is Dizzy in 4th. Faithless falls off the back of those two a little tiny bit, not too much. Starts to pull that gap back down, get himself back in the slipstream. Mocking in 6th now then, loses another position. It's Hoggy 7th. So had a false start. It's Hoggy. Ended up at the back of the pack, to be perfectly honest. Off the line, so yeah, ended up at the back of the pack, but he managed to get back to 10th quite early on. Made up a couple of positions within lap 1, I think. And then he's had a couple of other drivers spinning out and crashing in front of him, which has allowed him to move up the field a little bit, as I just see Manny with a half a second penalty. Losing that up the back straight is certainly not what you want. Skippy 10th then, Pilgrim 11th. Obi another 2.8 seconds behind him in 12th. Hard work for those two then. Look at this, Dylan. Lap after lap, he's pulling almost a second. Maybe tiny mistake setting in from Kevin. Mark now closed that gap back up on him. It looks close to the 1.5 seconds. He has pulled a bit of time over Dizzy. Dizzy now back under threat here from Faithless. Nowhere to go through the S's. Probably not going to go for a move into Degner either. If he's close enough on the exit of Degner, he might be able to make a move into the hairpin. Oh, he's got wide through there though. Oh, he's going to struggle. Struggles to get the brakes on after going off track there. Goes onto the gravel on the exit of Degner too. Mocking Weeks gets back past him, and here comes It's Hoggy right up his rear end. He's got dirty tyres as well. Has he gone? It's Hoggy trying to drive around the outside of him here. Again, those dirty tyres just compromise Faithless Emo into the hairpin. He's had to use a little bit of that overtake function just to keep himself ahead of It's Hoggy. Tiny little mistake there. Really cost him a good couple of positions. He's still a little bit wide through there. Hoggy not able to hang with him though. Closes up towards 130. And again into Casino, right up his rear end as they come into Casino. Is it close enough? 0.6 of a second behind him on the start finish straight. I don't think it's going to be enough. Faithless will be well aware of how close that is. He'll have his finger set on that overtake button just in case, and he'll just stay ahead. That's not what you meant to do. So Dylan up front then pulls a little bit more time in that lead position, 4 seconds then over Kevin. Kevin's managed to regain that half a second back over Mart here in 3rd. Dizzy in 4th, 1.7 seconds behind him. Mocking Weeks back into 5th, again 1.5 seconds behind Dizzy. Faithless getting himself back into this one after running himself a bit deep through Degner 2, or Degner 1 and then Degner 2. It's Hoggy, not close enough now to have a go at Faithless. He's going to have to stay 7th for the time being. Manny in 8th, Skippy in 9th, Manos 10th, Pilgrim actually closing back up with him. Pilgrim unfortunately getting it wrong at Spoon, just about here somewhere. Oof, very similar to that. Chase still on here then for that 10th place off of HKRT Manos, 1.8 seconds behind him, and that time is dropping. Obi-Wan unfortunately can't get that time down between himself and Pilgrim. 8.9 seconds, O'Meara's damn it, 9 seconds. So Dylan out front, let's have a look. He's used just over a quarter of a tank. Tyres are about a third worn, still not used any overtake function. Kevin in second, used very similar amount of fuel. Tyres looking maybe a little bit better than Dylan's. Also not used any of that overtake function. Mart in third place, used a tiny bit more fuel than the two in front. Tyres looking very similar, and he has used a little bit of that overtake function. Dizzy in fourth, used a little over a quarter of a tank. He's used a quarter of a tank of his overtake function as well, a quarter of a tank plus of that. Tyres looking good, everyone's tyres pretty much the same. It's all down to fuel and overtake boost function. I think you only get that one tank for the whole race, so you've got to be careful when you use it. Faithless used a big amount of fuel compared to everybody else. Just under a quarter of a tank of boost he's used. Down to about half a tank of boost for It's Hoggy. Used just over a quarter of a tank of fuel, maybe a full third. And again, everyone's tyres looking pretty similar. Manny's looking a little bit worse for wear. Slightly more red on those than everybody else's. Again, everybody else very similar. Used just about a third of a tank at this point. A little bit of overtake function. And most people's tyres looking very similar. Oh, Skippy's made a terrible mistake somewhere. He's binned it into the wall and allowed Pilgrim and Obi to get past him. And Manos, in fact. And he's not been in the pits. No fresh tyres, no fuel on. Dylan then looking very comfortable at the minute. 4.6 seconds up the road as he hits the hairpin. Kevin in pretty much exactly the same spot as him. Mart has now got Dizzy closing up on him, but he just, not that he will know, but Dizzy's used an awful lot of that overtake function, about a third of that tank. So he's been using it to close the gap up on Martin and escape the clutches of Faithless and Yamokkins behind him. He's got to be careful he just doesn't run out of it a little bit too early. Mocking still 1.4 seconds behind him. Faithless still trying to draw those boys back in. It's Hoggy falls off the back of Faithless a little bit. Manny another 2.9 seconds down. Big gaps then back to Manos, 6.5 seconds. Pilgrim another 3 seconds behind him. Obi another 5.6 back. And there is Skippy trying to get that thing back into the race. 3.2 seconds down at the minute. Just making it look easy here then, Dylan. 5 seconds lead now. Kevin got clear air front and back at the moment. Mart not looking too bad. Dizzy kind of keeps yo-yoing that time up and down behind Mart. Again, I think he's used, very similar to fuel to Mart. Maybe he got a little bit more in his tank than Mart, but he is using a lot more of that overtake function. Uses too much of that, that gives Mocky Wheats and Faithless Emo the opportunity to use their overtake function to pull him back in. Mocky Wheats has hardly used any of his either. Dizzy just getting himself within slipstream range as they head up the hill. able to close up though. So when are we going to see these boys in? On to lap 10 of 27. Dylan, 5 seconds lead or near as, damn it. Tyres still looking pretty good though. What do we think? When do we think they're going to come in for tyres? His lap times have yo-yoed a little bit. Been 139s, 140s. He has managed to squeeze a couple of 138s in though quite early on. I suppose as long as he can see that time between himself and Kevin staying at 4.8 seconds or there or thereabouts, he might be quite happy just to stay in this position. When he sees that time coming down, might be the time when he decides he's going to throw himself in the pits. Mark then, 4.5 seconds behind Kevin in second. Mark's currently in third place, but he's keeping himself ahead of Dizzy. Dizzy has got Mocking Weeks and Faithless Emo closing up on him. They're all gathering up behind Mart. Got to try and break that toe from Dizzy behind. Maybe use a little bit of that overtake function just to get himself out of some of these corners a tiny bit quicker. Oh, he's opting to come in the pits now, Mart. So he's getting rid of those mediums early on then, Martin. Interesting to see what tyres he puts on. Obviously he's going to fall down the order as he comes in the pits. Why does it say he came in lap 11 as well? I don't think that's true. Does he take on board a full tank, or does he opt for almost a full tank and then just spank another set of tyres round? Yes, 3/4 of a tank. A set of mediums again for him. Comes out in 9th position, not too bad. Gives him plenty of clear air. He's got Skippy behind him. Manny's dropped himself in the pits now as well. Excuse me. Obi-Wan's done the same thing. When are we going to see the front runners? Yeah, it says that Dylan's been in the pits 3 times there as well. Look, lap 7, lap 9. And lap, or is that telling me he's got a penalty? I thought that was pits. I don't think he's had penalties. What does P mean? Phone call to Yamaguchi Kawasaki, whatever his name is. You know the dude. The cheat code dude. I know, because you've got 3 P's on yours, look, it just... everyone's got the 3 P's, just all in different places. There we go. Maybe they've come over the white line. It's registered as a pit. Oh, Faithless Emo does come in, so does Mocking Weeks. Maybe it does register as a pit enter if you cross that white line. Whether you sort of skip across it and go back onto the start-finish straight or not. So top 2 stay out. Dizzy, It's Hoggy, Manos also stay out. So that moves them up the order a little bit. Mocking Weeks, Pilgrim. There's Mart. So he gets himself back onto track ahead of Faithless Emo. He doesn't get ahead of Mocking Weeks though. But Mocking Weeks didn't take on board any fuel. Let's have a look. Did Faithless? Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. Mark took on a fair amount, so he can run a bit longer on these mediums without fuel. It might benefit him. If not, it'll mean he can spend less time in the pits on that last stop by taking on board the less fuel. And he's still got a few drivers in front of him that got to stop. Pilgrim for sure is going to come in at the end of this lap. Those tyres are absolutely screaming out to be changed. Waldig, evening. So again, few drivers yet to come in. There's Dylan, race leader. He comes in now. Is Kevin going to follow him? No, Kevin stays out. Quite happy with the amount of wear on those tyres. Dizzy also in this lap. Interesting to see who else decides to come in. How much fuel they take on. Dizzy in the pits now then. Dylan just being released. So did take on a little bit of fuel, but not a lot, to be honest. Comes out in third position. It's Hoggy and Kevin in front have yet to stop. He's only 18 seconds behind race leader. Only actually lost, he lost 11 seconds on the lap on the way in. See how much he loses on the way out. So Manos behind him, not stopped. Mocking Weeks has stopped. Pilgrim needs to stop, although Mott's already trying to get past him here. Old tyre versus a new tyre battle here, and unfortunately Martin's getting swamped by a few drivers behind him. He's been slowed up by chasing Pilgrim, and unfortunately now got Faithless, Emo and Dizzy to battle against, try and hold on to that position. Faithless is already through. Mark then looking for a way around the outside this time. Oh, was there contact? Yeah, Mark got a nudge. I think that was off Dizzy. Okay, so Kevin in the pits now. Come on, get up to him, get up to him. Oh, he's already released. Dylan's already through. What's the gap going to be when they get up to full speed? It's Hoggy needs to stop in front. He's leading this race at the minute, but he will be in probably at the end of this lap or the one after. That will put Dylan back into the lead, but look at that. Kevin didn't take on board any fuel in that stop, so he has closed the gap up to Dylan. It was about 5 seconds, maybe 6 seconds. And they started those pit stops. Down to 1.5 as well. It's a medium tyre versus a soft tyre here. Kevin on the soft tyre for stint 2. Faithless in the chat quite early on saying that the soft tyres don't last too long here, so we'll see. Dylan already making his way past. It's Hoggy then reclaiming that top spot. It's got a tiny buffer then, Dylan, with It's Hoggy being currently second. Again, he's got to stop. I think Kevin will come up behind him halfway up this straight. Should be short work for him. I say that, he's not going to make it before 130R. Does he make it before Casino? No. Now, what's It's Hoggy doing? Is he coming in the pits? No, he stays out. Kevin goes past him, gets into that second position. Then there is a Dylan, now just 1.1 seconds ahead of him on that faster tyre as well. Kevin, he should make sure work of Dylan here. But how long will those soft tyres last? One lap down, already a big chunk of wear on those. It's Hoggy in third. He remains out at the minute, not stopped yet. Mocking Weeks in fourth position. Faithless in fifth. Dizzy in sixth. Mart seventh. Manos in eighth. Manny in ninth. Pilgrim 10th. He's just come out. Fresh set of tyres on for him. Skippy in 11th. He's gone for the fresh mediums for stint 2. And Obi on a set of mediums for stint 2 as well. Look at this, Dylan being harassed by Kevin then for that top spot. Much faster tyre. much grippier, go around the corners quicker, get the exits quicker, but it does wear down a lot quicker. So maybe a slight change to the setup now then. So Kevin has used half a tank of that overtake function. He's still using a little bit now, coming onto the start finish straight. Dylan has still got a full tank of that. So again, although Kevin might be pulling away now, those tyres are going to wear out pretty damn quick. And then he's got to contend with a fast Dylan behind him with all that overtake boost to use. In third, then Faithless fourth. Big gaps out on this track now. Dizzy fifth, Mart in sixth. It's Hoggy in the pits now in eighth. Manos just going through to take seventh of him. Just gets released now. Does he stay ahead of Manny? Manny carrying the speed down towards turn one. No, it's Hoggy that stays in front in eighth. He's gone for the mediums for stint to himself. Oh, Manny off track through turn one. Just getting caught out a little bit there. Pilgrim closes up on him then in 10th. They go through the S's almost bumper to bumper or wing to wing. Skippy in 11th and Obi in 12th. Obi getting sent off quite early, or ended up off track quite early. Kevin then starts to open that gap up between himself and Dylan. So he's done 2 laps and there's already big amounts of wear on these tyres, these softs. Is he going to get 5, maybe 6 laps out of those? Benefited him for now, and again he didn't take on board fuel. Dylan took on a little bit, so Kevin's actually down to 1/4 of a tank of fuel, half a tank of that overtake, and those soft tyres wearing out pretty damn quickly. So he's going to have to spend more time in the pits taking on board fuel when he does come in for his second stop. He's going to he's not necessarily going to come out on the softer tyre, on the medium tyre. He might go for another set of softs. Whereas Dylan can spend a little bit less time in the pits, stick a set of soft tyres on. He's got all that overtake function to use as well. We'll see how it all pans out nearer the end of the race. Marking then third, 10 seconds behind the top 2, 7 seconds ahead of this man though in fourth. Faithless another 3 seconds behind him, and there is Mark right on his rear end now, just 1.1 seconds. In fact, Faithless and Dizzy swap places. I think Faithless has had a little bit of a spinning round somewhere. I'm sure he was 4th and Dizzy was 5th. Could be wrong though. Mark just 1.3 seconds behind him then. Chase on there. It's Hoggy in 7th after just coming out of the pits. Holds that line, keeps himself ahead of Manos. Overtakes Manos, I believe. Yes, he does. Pilgrim in 9th. Those softs already looking worn out. Manny in 10th. Only just under 2 seconds behind Pilgrim, so not out of contention of moving up the order there. Skippy in 11th. 10 seconds behind Manny though. Unfortunately, Obi falling a little bit further back as we see him with a little bit of front end damage on that car. 27.5 seconds down, Obi. So Kevin 2.6 seconds lead. I would have expected a bit more, to be honest, but again, wear is showing up pretty damn quickly on those soft tyres. Dylan's one of the quicker drivers anyway in these lobbies. So medium tyres versus soft tyre, it's not denting him too much. And he should, again, just be able to make up that time in the pits. We'll see. contention at the minute. He's got podium position for Mockin, but I don't think he's going to move up the order anymore. Dizzy in 4th then, another 8 seconds back. Tyres looking good. Quarter of a tank of fuel on for Faithless. Mediums looking good. Mark got just over quarter of a tank again, so we'll be able to spend less time in the pits when he does come in for this second stop. I can imagine they're all going to go for a set of soft tyres. It's Hoggy then still 7th, but nearly 16 seconds behind Mart. He has still got Manos for company, just a second behind him. Pilgrim now 2 seconds behind Manos. Manny another 4 seconds down on him. Skippy still 9.5 seconds. And Obi still struggling here. So the wear is going to start showing on those soft tyres now. They're over half worn. Grippier in sections, but they'll be more prone to letting go around some of these faster turns when you least expect it. You might start seeing that time come down between him and Dylan. At 2.3 seconds now. Kevin running out of fuel. He might just be able to squeeze one more lap in, maybe 2 with that fuel. Just keeping him in check, 2.2 seconds back. Neither driver stopping on this lap then. Rocking Weeks down to Casino. So very low on fuel himself actually. Stays out as well though. Dizzy still got quarter of a tank of fuel. Stays out. Faithless stays out. Mark stays out. I think everybody else will stay out. Oh no, maybe not Manos. He's almost out of fuel and almost out of tyres here. Probably going to come in this lap. It might be a short lap for him if he doesn't. And he doesn't. He's risking it for another lap on that tank. Okay. When it's flashing red like that, it usually means he's got about a lap left, so we'll see how he gets on. Same for Pilgrim. He's not stopped. He's got actually less on board than Manos. Manny got plenty of fuel on. Skippy got plenty of fuel on. And Obi got plenty of fuel on. And here is that time coming down then. So it's down to 2 seconds between Kevin and Dylan. Big piles of tyre wear on those softs now. Will we see Kevin in this lap? Will he opt to go for one more? He stays out. Dylan follows him through as well. Time still falling. 1.9 seconds between these two. Faithless stays out. Mart stays out. Oh no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He turns into the pits last minute. So Mart in then. He's going to get his last stop done and dusted. Probably a set of soft tyres going on for him then. It's Hoggy, not long been in, so plenty of fuel, plenty of tyres on for him. Manos in the pits. Pilgrim in the pits. Manny got plenty of fuel on. Skippy still got plenty of fuel on. Again, they could opt to stop. Manny has opted to stop, even though he's got plenty of fuel on. He just needs to take on board tyres. Skippy again could come in just to get that stop out of the way. 7 laps remaining. Will be 6 laps remaining by the time they all cross the line. Obi might also come in. Okay, Kevin So tyre wear really starting to hurt him now. He will be in at the end of this lap though. He needs fuel, he needs tyres. Will Dylan follow him in, or will he opt to stay out? Kevin in, Dylan stays out. Quite happy with those lap times, 1:39.2s then. Not too bad with semi-worn mediums. He's got to make this a good lap. Weeks in this lap as well. Dizzy comes in this lap, Faithless comes in this lap. It's Hoggy who's going to be next. Mart, I think. So he's been in, fresh set of softs on. Just under half a tank, about a third a tank of fuel on for him. Down to Casino. Where is he going to come out? Where does everyone else come out? Dylan already left the pits then. Oh, sorry, Dylan stayed out, didn't he? Kevin out the pits, apologies. Mocking Weeks out the pits. It's Hoggy not stopped. Dizzy back out the pits as well. Faithless Emo back out the pits. Mart, unfortunately, not able to jump anyone with that early pit stop. Thought he might just be able to get away with that, holding that little bit of extra fuel. Manny's been in then for his final stop. Manos has been in for his final stop. Skippy still needs to come in for one more. Pilgrim's been in for a stop. Obi's been in. And I think it is just now, it's Hoggy and one other driver. I think Skippy. So Dylan, he stayed out again on those medium tyres. That's brave, that is brave on the mediums. Because now you've got a driver, Kev, who's got the faster tyre on behind him. Although saying that, Dylan could just be using that overtake function anytime he likes now. He's still got a full tank of it. He's only got 4 laps remaining, so when it hits the straights I would seriously be considering using that, especially with the medium tyres on. Just keep yourself ahead of the faster tyre drivers. Through Degner 1 into Degner 2. It's Hoggy drops himself in the pits then, so Dylan loses a second to Kevin. Oh, it's more than that, it's 2 seconds now. Kevin down to the Degner 1, Degner 2. Sorry, the camera moved and the car moved and I thought he was spinning off track. So can Dylan get in and back out before Kevin overtakes him? That time down again, 21 seconds. Through Spoon for Dylan up towards 130R. He's going to have to come in at the end of this lap. He needs fuel and tyres. And now then, here comes Kevin up the back straight. Dylan just getting his tyres on, taking on board that fuel. Here comes HKRT Kevin then down the pits. Down the pit straight, he uses all of that overtake function. There is Dylan just out of the pits now behind him. They've got 3 laps to battle this one out then. Semi-worn set of softs on for Kevin. Brand new super fresh set of softs on for Dylan. He's got all that overtake function to use if he can. There's a race to the line now for these two. 2.1 seconds between them. Falling rapidly, in fact. Dylan's still not opting. He doesn't need to use that overtake function really. He's pulling a little bit of time down on Kevin anyway. Get down to 1.8 seconds. And falling here for Dylan. Rocking Weeks then 16 seconds behind in third place. Dizzy another 3.4 seconds behind him. Faithless 5.6 seconds down in fifth. Mark right behind him in sixth. It's Hoggy back out the pits in seventh. Manny in eighth. Manos in ninth position. Pilgrim in 10th. Skippy takes his last stop now, and Obi-Wan. Ooh, he's going to get out in front of Obi. He is. I don't think Obi's going to be able to close that gap up either. Tyres are a little bit more worn than the fresh set on for Skippy. Nothing's impossible though. Look at this, Dylan bringing that time down again to Kevin. It's just over a second. He has started to use that overtake function now, Dylan, to his advantage. So on the little straights, I think he's just giving it a little squirt. Maybe as he comes out of here, there we go. On the run down towards Degner, just a big squeeze of that, thank you very much. And out of here as well. Gap down to less than a second then for Dylan. Lap 25 of 27. Within the slipstream range. Overtake function used again as they hit 200R. Absolutely full tilt. He's got the advantage of the slipstream as well down here. Close enough to possibly go for a move up back straight here. Again, he's got plenty of that overtake function left to use if he wants it, which he is using already. A gap of 0.6 of a second, maybe not quite close enough to get that done before the top of the hill. Closes up rapidly though through 130R, possibly for an attack into Casino. Carrying the speed through, nothing that Kevin can do apart from go for out braking. Side by side through there, but Dylan takes the second part of the apex. And Dylan could just use that overtake function again to start pulling away from Kevin, although Kevin's got that slipstream. Dylan has got that KERS boost available. Just use it on the exit of these turns on the little straights just to pull himself that little bit further away from Kevin. Lap 26 of 27. Will they both get round? Look at the fuel on board for the pair of them. Gap stretching up to 0.8 of a second then between first and second. But very low on fuel. Bit more fuel on board for Kevin. Is Dylan going to run out here? Can he squeeze one more lap out of that tank of fuel? Kevin second, Mockin still third. He's going to have to settle for that position. Dizzy's actually closing up on him a little bit. Just 3 seconds behind him. Faithless is still 5.5 seconds back. Mart another 3. Oof. Almost off track there for Mart. 3.6 seconds back. No threat from behind though. It's Hoggy nearly 20 seconds behind in 7th. Manny in 8th, just 1.4 seconds behind him. Another 6 seconds back to Manos. 9.5 back to Pilgrim. 23 back to Skippy, and another 13 back to Obi. Okay, Dylan and Kevin onto this last lap. Dylan's fuel looking mighty low. Does he run out of fuel before the end of this race? Has he put it in a fuel saving mode to keep himself safe? I don't think he's gonna have, I don't know if he's gonna have enough fuel to finish this race, people. I think he might run out. Been very tentative around some of these corners. It's going to be absolute last minute where he runs out, I know it. Oof, a little bit wide there for Kevin. He's pushing to try and hang on to Dylan. Does he know how low of fuel he is? He might not have to race him. He might just have to wait for Dylan to run out of fuel. He's not looking great himself, but he's got a lot more on board than Dylan. Oh, it's very low. I don't think he's going to make it up this back straight. Into Spoon. If If he manages to make the full lap after this spank up this hill, I'll be astounded. 1.5 seconds the lead currently. He's probably put it in fuel saving mode 19 if there was one. No lift and coast. Still got fumes running in that car. Into casino then. He's going to do it. He runs out of... There you go. There you go. Literally, as he crosses the line, he runs out of fuel. Absolutely perfectly timed for Dylan. Great race between those two. 1.3 seconds in the end. Kevin second. Mockinweek's coming home in third. Dizzy did actually close up on him. Both drivers, I think, went into a little bit of a fuel save mode just in case. So Mockin third, then Dizzy fourth. Faithless Emo fifth. He is. Mart is going to come home in sixth position. Gives us a wiggle across the line as well. It's Hoggy will take seventh. Don't think we've had anyone else cross the line. We're just waiting on the guys at the back. It's Hoggy does take seventh. Then Manny comes home in eighth. Backwards. Manos is going to come home for ninth. Oh, he's a little bit shaky there, Manos. Not too sure whether your connection, maybe the missus is watching too much Netflix. Pilgrim is going to come home in 10th. Oh, we have missed Obi. Must have hung about at the end of that last lap. Pilgrim takes 10th then. Skippy is going to come home in 11th. And we have already missed Obi crossing the line. So we'll just wait for Skipster. There it is, round 6, done and dusted. Super Formula 23s. Round 6 done here at Suzuka. 2 more rounds left of this one. I forget where. But it will still be Dylan leading this championship next week. But yes, decent bit of racing there. Decent bit of racing. That's about all I can see. Say there's official results then. Dylan on that top spot, Kevin second, Mockin in third, Dizzy fourth, Faithless fifth, Mart in sixth, It's Hoggy seventh, Manny in eighth, Manos ninth, Pilgrim 10th, Skippy 11th, and Obi-Wan 12th. And that's it. Round 6 done and dusted. No problem, Skippy. No problem. But yeah, Martin Hill, dirty moves. I didn't see anything in quali. I didn't quite see what happened to you in the race. It looked like there was a bit of contact between you and Dizzy, but I couldn't tell if it was Dizzy or Mockin at the time. I think it was Dizzy. But yeah, snip it, put it in. That's the way. But yes, that's going to be it from me tonight, people. Back again Friday night at 9 o'clock for the next round of the GTTCC. 2 races coming from that one. Should be back Saturday night for Nürburgring again. So it's Valentine, so I didn't do Saturday night. You know the score, people. But back tonight. So yeah, Friday night 9 o'clock for GTTCC. Saturday night 8 o'clock for Nürburgring, and Sunday night 9 o'clock for the next round of this. That's like Monza the other way around. That's what we've got coming up for you guys over the next week. I felt like the track was wet all race. Well, there you go. Dodgy tyres. It started raining after the finish. Well, that's no good. But yeah, that's it from me, people. I hope you've liked what you watched. If you have, do all the things, click all the stuff, the buttons and the stuff and the things, do the things. But you know what I want you to really do. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.